What's up? I'm Grizz. Episode 2, Season 2, Jujutsu Kaisen. Very strong start. First episode, just the animation-wise and setup-wise, I felt was really well done and introduced us to a lot of different things to kind of look out for and dynamics that we should be expecting. Just fun things I think that could occur here. And also, I felt like it raised a lot of questions of things that I want to see exactly what happened. I'm going to change things up a little bit. I would usually just mute the audio here because TOHO is going to block my video come Sunday probably. But considering most people kind of fluctuate in and watch it in the first couple days anyways, I'm probably just going to post it normal here. And then if they take it down come Sunday, I'll just delete the reaction portion out of the video here. And then you'll just have to click the link in the description to go watch it if you want to do that. But I'm probably just going to put the audio and everything in here. So if there is no reaction in this section at all and you're watching right now, just check that description. I am working on some ways to still try and get around it though, but we have to see. They decided not to claim anything last week. Usually they take like 2 or 3 weeks after a show starts to do it. So they might not even do it this week. I might have to wait another week to actually figure out if the things I'm trying are working. Anyways, if you have any good ideas about how I can kind of get around them claiming the audio on every video that I do, let me know. Definitely would be appreciated. That out of the way. If you like it, I'll hit the like and subscribe. To mean a lot to me. Feel free to stick around for the discussion. Please leave any comments about this episode or series. Let's go in episode 2 of season 2 of Jujutsu. Okay, I just want to start by saying, well, first I'll start by saying great episode. Anyways, I want to say something, especially in the first season, and even as I have been rereading the manga. I said this last week, but I've been slowly moving my way through. I'm almost caught up, and I did rewatch the movie actually, like right after this episode aired last week. So I'm doing everything I said I would. I'm getting there. I just want to say this show does such a excellent job of blending the comedy with everything else that's kind of going on, even if it is in serious moments and stuff, and elevating it to like a complete different level. It doesn't feel forced in any sort of way. It literally is like, oh, we're going to a school with a bunch of girls and hot guys going to be coming. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's something that feels like it naturally would happen when we're in this situation. We're going to look for this girl, right? Like all of this type of thing that occurs like is something that's so natural, and it also shows how much personality all these characters have. Ghetto being the guy at the beginning with the tea, and watching everybody else get like eaten and licked by this monster that he has, but he doesn't really care, and he's just kind of just chilling all the rubble and everything, right? Like it's so effortless the way that they kind of do it, and it mixes itself so well with what's going on in the story, and on top of the fact that, like I said, the characters are packed with personality for the most part. So people like Gojo being able to be as kind of goofy as he is, even when things aren't like working and he isn't able to use his power at the end, that it didn't end up working for him, but he still kind of just like laughs it off and finishes things anyways. Like it doesn't really matter. It's so cool, and I actually love that. There were actually a couple big takeaways I would say from this episode. The first being showing the fact that it seems like Gojo specifically, Geto maybe, but I'm not too sure because I didn't really know everything that he's capable of to begin with. But Gojo, everything that we've seen him possibly be able to do so far, to me, this right now is screaming he's not developed to the point that he should be yet, or the point that we know that he can get to, which I think really works well. He has more of a cocky attitude to him, the way that he kind of is now. He believes he's stronger than everybody already, how it is, and he has a lot of stuff that he kind of needs to improve upon. And I think whatever happens in this arc will be something that's like a big turning point for him, where he becomes a bit more focused and is able to expand and improve upon all his abilities and everything that he can do. Similarly to how he used the red thing and it didn't end up working, right? That's something that we wouldn't have seen in the future. He would have been able to do literally anything that he wanted to. So it's nice to see, we can kind of see where he's starting at, but also see how strong he is regardless, and how much he's feared by other people, even if he is failing and not able to do these certain things that we know that he can do, right? But it's really cool for us to be able to see that kind of development almost, and understand that he hasn't always been like the most gifted person. While he is more gifted than everyone else, it seems like, still having that ability to see like his improvement like firsthand here is kind of really cool. Secondly, talking about what's her name, Rico, and what exactly she's doing in her vision. I feel almost bad for her. It seems like she doesn't really have an idea of what's going on in the situation. Like she's aware of what's happening, but she's taking it in more of like a positive direction than I think she kind of should be. And she thinks that she's kind of getting like a good end of the deal here when she's not, which I think is exactly why Tengen was like, yeah, let her live out her life, let her do everything that she wants to possibly do throughout this entire span of these few days that she has, right? She's not going to have an opportunity to do literally anything after this point, so might as well give her everything that we kind of can and let her kind of be free, be with her friends, be with her family, do whatever that it is that she wants to. And I think that's really cool, but it's really sad to kind of see how it is. And I fear that when this all goes down, things aren't going to work out too well. This goes back to the title of the arc, because in the intro it literally says slash premature death, so that scares me of like, what the fuck are we talking about? But knowing in the future that Tengen is still a person, or still a being of some sort that offers like its barriers or protections and stuff, because that's literally presented within the first season to us, that's a thing. We know that Tengen finds somebody at least to do this. So whether Rico's the one that actually gets through and he's able to with her, I don't actually know. It possibly could be a failure on that part, and then we have to present somebody else when we probably shouldn't, but like, I don't really know. Unless she does, and then there's some fucking issues that go down there, but I have no idea. Now, the other big thing that's kind of looming in the background here is specifically regarding Fushiguro and what his goals are. He's a constant and compulsive gambler. He's just like me. It's sad to see, but it's really funny. It makes him more interesting. I have a lot of personality. He seems to be somebody who's incredibly strong, which kind of scares me, of him being kind of confident enough that everybody else is going to die if they go and try and fight Gojo, but maybe not him. Who knows, right? I am interested to see exactly what he's capable of and what he's doing. It seems like he's setting up a plan. So it seems like it was a very simple thing, right? Of what they are able to kind of do. Get this girl, protect her, right? Sure, there's these two other groups, but the groups are kind of like not really there at the same exact time. One of the groups is kind of there, and then I think Fushiguro is like using and hiring other people on the outside to like make this other group and have them kind of come forward and do things. Unless I'm understanding that wrong, and the Q group is separate from like the people that we're seeing in the school and with the bags and all that kind of stuff. Regardless, even if they're separate, I don't think it matters much, because it seems like he is in charge of setting everybody like Gojo and Geto and all them up with these people and trying to get them not killed but worn down, because he knows that nobody can kind of stop them in a way. And he's doing something by putting a bounty on this girl, leaking this kind of information. We talked about how her location and all this other stuff was leaked too. We're specifically putting these traps out there to kind of set them up and put them in a bit more of a situation where I think he can make his move come, what did they say, like 11 a.m. the next day or something, and come that time he can then make his move, and they're already going to be worn out a little bit to the point that he has a better opportunity than he would have before, which just shows like behind the scenes he seems like he doesn't really care, but he's very like focused on the kind of things that he's doing and setting things up. He's just very smart for what he's capable of, and I think it's really interesting to kind of see what he's getting into. I don't think there's much for him to like me to really speculate on what he can possibly do here, because we haven't seen anything, so I guess I gotta kind of just wait and see what he's really capable of. But he's probably like, he screams to me like he's somebody who's like the guy that Gojo fought in Zero, where the guy wasn't like, he didn't have it out for anybody, but he was just kind of hired in a way to do things. Like he seems exactly like that to me, where like he doesn't care if he kills Gojo or he stops him or he does anything. He's just kind of hired to do his mission here, and as long as he gets his money, he does not care what happens, right? So I'm rather interested to see him and exactly what he's kind of got going on. I just want to quickly go through the episode a little bit and just see if there's anything I'm missing and some scenes I want to talk about. The beginning here is phenomenal to me. It's so funny. The framing of this scene specifically, when we're seeing him make the tea in this, so you can see the slight background, so you know that some shit just went down there, and know his location, is really, really good and cool to me. And then being able to see everybody like sleeping, like, oh, things are good. And then all you see is this guy getting absolutely like eaten by this monster. Is so funny to me. Gojo looking really cocky here, just showing off the other guy. And then we get our first real conversations here with Fushiguro and what exactly he's doing, being a fucking gambler and everything else, which is really funny. We meet Riko for the first time here, and she's very funny. I love her. She's filled with personality. Hilarious girl. They make a great trio together, right? Great fun and comedy. We meet, she has like this maid who's kind of her protector in some sort of way. Find out that that's kind of for like her family, and then we discuss a little bit regarding what exactly the plans are and what we are doing, trying to protect her and kind of letting her do the things that she wants, which all works really well. We get to kind of see that he leaked this stuff and put out a hit on Riko and trying to get her kind of taken away. We learn more about his tactics and what exactly the stuff is that he's trying to do, so that's cool. And then we get into some fun stuff regarding the fighting, with Geto fighting this old man who completely thinks that he has him figured out. Geto decides to just fill the entire this thing. He's like, all right, I got him. And then he comes back through the window, and it's like, oh shit, he did something, wasn't expecting that. But then we end up fighting, his life's just flashing before his eyes, and he basically got sent to the heavens. But we have such excellent, like, gospel like music behind us, right? Choir, church like music, and it's just like elevating the scene. It makes it more funny than it needs to be, but it's so cool. It's like that episode in Chainsaw Man where, like, I mean, if you know, you know, but I think it's like episode 8 or 9 where all the shit kind of goes down, and it's like, what the fuck's happening right now? And you just have like this ominous music almost like in the background. It's really funny. It feels like that, like almost as if somebody was attacking the school, like they are here, and you just have like this heavenly type music in the back. It's so funny. He ends up getting his ass beat after he was like, oh, Ghetto can't do shit if I'm up close, right? But then when we get up close, you find out that he's really capable of doing stuff, which I think is really funny. This is the best moment in the entire episode to me. The Gojo pulling up to the school and all the girls losing their mind over it, and Rico being like, what the fuck, I told him not to come, and all of them being like, oh, this is their boyfriend or something, right? And her just kind of losing it. The teacher was even hilarious too, running up and sliding it while all the girls kind of look at him like this. It makes the use and the kind of change in which they're doing with the art style and the faces and everything, the character design, really, really unique. Like, it makes it fun and adds so much life to the kind of scenes that are happening here. Like, this is so fun. Anyways, we run out with her, and we're able to find out that we got to get set up with these dudes who are like clones of everything. We find out she's a lot more capable than I kind of thought too, which is really cool. Ghetto's there to kind of help us and figure out where we're going and go back to the school. And then we get the fun moment with Gojo where he's basically explaining what his ability is and everything that he can kind of do, and how you really can't touch him, or really can't do anything, which I think was just a fun explanation of what he could do. I thought here we were sending this dude to the fucking heavens, dude, and turning him into particles, but instead he's like, ah, shit, it doesn't work. That's like the funniest shit to me. We ended off though getting a picture and finding out that we actually got captured, or at least she did. I don't know if Geto got captured as well, or what exactly happened in that situation there. Am curious, like, how exactly that would have happened and who else there was that would have set us up or been able to put us in that position. But I'm very interested. We did talk a little bit about Gojo's powers specifically too, and they mentioned some of that. And what exactly he can do. They specifically brought up the limitless stuff that he does, and the eyes. They said something about like 6 eyes. I still don't, I mean, fully get it, but I'll go back and basically read it while I'm doing the editing and everything. But if you want, just explain it too in the best ability that you can, as long as it doesn't really spoil stuff or whatever. That would be cool, just to maybe dumb it down for me to fully grasp exactly what he can do. But it is something, like, I feel like he doesn't have the ability to find or see things. Like, he seemed like he was always popping up at the right exact locations and like knew where he was going and what he was doing in the present timeline. So in this past here, being able to see, it seems like he doesn't have everything in order yet, and for him to be able to be as powerful and as useful as he kind of is now. So I'm interested to see how they develop and push him further. Once again, very excited, very curious to see what Fushiguro is up to and what exactly he can do, but we'll have to wait another week for that. If you like it all, hit the like and subscribe to me a lot to me. Feel free to check out the other videos on the channel. Leave any comments about this episode or series. I would love to hear what people thought and explain anything you feel would be useful. I'll be back for episode 3 next week though. You guys have a good one. See ya.